The breaking point came for Paul Hamilton on June 25, 2016, as he labored up a stairwell and to his car after the NHL draft came to a close in downtown Buffalo. He was gassed physically, mentally, and emotionally. Drained by excess weight, swollen legs and a back so sore he could barely stand for more than 5 minutes. So self-conscious by the way he looked that he chose to spend most of his off-work hours alone in his house. "I was always out of breath," said Hamilton, the veteran Buffalo Sabres beat reporter for WGR 550 Sports Radio. "I was always in a complete and utter sweat. It was embarrassing to be quite honest. I'd walk from the press box to the locker room and I would have sweated through my suit by the time I got down there. These are warning signs before you have a heart attack or stroke. That's how far gone I was." Hamilton decided as he stood in the first Niagara Center parking ramp that he would take the advice of his goddaughter, Karen Domzalski, and explore gastric bypass surgery. Domzalski, a social worker, had the procedure the year before, lost 135 pounds and kept it off. Hamilton set a similar goal. "If I didn't do this," he said, "I didn't think I would have lasted another 2 years." A gradual change. Paul Hamilton weighed 165 pounds when he played hockey at Iowa State University 37 years ago. It took decades for Hamilton to stand in the place he found himself last year. He grew up in Amherst, where he played hockey in youth leagues and at Amherst High School. The 5'9" forward, a self-described spark plug, weighed 165 pounds when he went on to play at Iowa State University during a School Hall of Fame career that included a tryout for the 1980 U.S. Olympic team. Paul Hamilton weighed about 355 pounds last summer when he met music star Kelly Pickler. "I knew I wasn't going to be good enough to play pro hockey," said Hamilton, who got his first radio gig at WBTF-FM in Attica, then worked for several years in the late 1980s and early 90s in the financially turbulent airline industry. He found more stability in a radio career that began to take off in 1994, after WGR hockey talk show host Barry Buell encouraged Hamilton to take a part-time job doing sportscasts and other work. When Buell left a few months later to take a job covering the Cleveland Indians baseball team, the station turned to Hamilton to cover the Sabres. He's done so ever since. He also helps with Buffalo Bills coverage, and is a familiar presence on all of the station's locally produced sports talk shows. Hamilton for years has worked shifts during the Buffalo pro sports seasons that have included calls in to provide content for morning and evening shows, live reports from training camps and practices, and pre-game, between period and post-game interviews. He's traveled on Sabres road trips. It's been a dream job for a guy who loves hockey, but one filled with busy days, inconsistent sleep schedules and lots of unhealthy food temptations. The mix, gradually and over years, helped push him to 355 pounds, nearly 200 pounds more than his college playing weight by the time he decided to make a big change. The prep.